Joining us now for reaction, State Director for Concerned Veterans for America, Roseanne Rodriguez, and Marine Corps veteran Captain Matt Tito is with us as well. Matt, I'd like to start with you. The withdrawal is going to miss that May 1st deadline that the Trump administration had established in a deal with the Taliban. You served in Afghanistan for a year. You were part of Operation Enduring Freedom. Is now the right time for this?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're talking about 20 years of war, the longest war in American history, almost twice as long as Vietnam. We've had over 2,200 soldiers killed in Afghanistan, 20,000 wounded, and $2 trillion spent. You got to remember, the initial reason for going into Afghanistan was to disrupt the terrorists, the al-Qaeda that was training there and launching terrorist attacks from Afghanistan, go after bin Laden, and also to attack after 9/11 for the terrorist attacks that happened.
Right.
And so here we are 20 years later, we're still in Afghanistan. It's time to pull out. For some reason, somewhere along the way, the mission went from, seeking justice for 9/11 to nation building. We've spent over $1 billion in infrastructure there. I know that's a hot topic right now, infrastructure. $1 billion in building roads and schools and canals. And enough is enough. It's time to come home. It's time to bring the troops home.
All right, Roseanne, we're talking about 2,500 troops right now, so not nearly. There was, Matt, when you were there 10 years ago, there was 100,000 troops. The current force, what are they actually doing there right now? I know they're involved in training, but that's not a large force.
No, they're mostly in a support role right now, so they're not in a combat role right now. But they do need to come home. It's not helping with the peacekeeping mission or the peace agreements. There was a May 1 deadline, the Doha Agreement that President Trump had signed. And we are Concerned Veterans for America is saddened to see that he has extended it to September 11th, but right. We are hopeful that he holds to that deadline.
All right, so some lawmakers, Matt, particularly on the left, say the U.S. is abandoning the Afghans, particularly women. My question, though, how long can we remain in this forever war, almost 20 years?
Yeah, I'm sick and tired of all these politicians that keep pushing to stay in Afghanistan. You've had 20 years to fix this problem. And if you've been in politics for longer than 20 years, longer than the Afghanistan war, it's time for you to retire and move on and let somebody come in and do the job, because this is getting ridiculous. And you just wonder what the real motive is, right, to staying in Afghanistan. Yeah, the Afghan papers come out, which was reported on by the Washington Post, which was basically the real thoughts of what the generals and the commanders over in Afghanistan were thinking. And they basically knew all along that this war was unwinnable.
Right.
And they were misleading the general public. And they were telling us that, oh, we're on track, we're winning, things are going great. Why were they lying to us? Why are the politicians now still pushing to keep us in Afghanistan 20 years later? It doesn't make any sense.
Let me give you a soundbite. This is from Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina. Play this, Roseanne, then we'll get some reaction. Take a listen.
Afghanistan is going to deteriorate pretty rapidly. Al-Qaeda and ISIS are going to come back. He's paving the way for another 9/11.
Roseanne, final thoughts there?
Yeah, we hear this all the time, that it's rapidly deteriorating. If we leave 20 years, I don't think anything is going to change. And our troops being there is not going to be helpful. We do have long-range strike capabilities. So if there is an issue that pops up in Afghanistan, we can quickly eliminate it without troops on the ground.
That's a good point. We'll still have a CIA base there and a special ops base as well. Matt Tito, Roseanne Rodriguez, thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate your expertise. Thank you.